to do that. Here we go.
Series of APA and Yan, you cannot say that anymore.
No.
So you're really just trying to dig into what their weaknesses are, and I hope that 100 Thieves can show us that.
We'll have to see. Spawn, who you just saw on stage, is someone you talked to right before the series along with Golden Glue. Let's check that out.
All right, we got Team Liquid versus 100
What's up, everyone?
Thieves.
I've got here Coach Golden Glue from 100 Thieves and Coach Spawn from Team Liquid. I was getting a little too used to seeing Rainover in your position. You have to ruin a good thing. How's it going? What's been happening, actually, in the past few weeks for you?
Not much has been happening.
I love seeing
after MSI,
Golden Glue around still.
And then my son was diagnosed with ADHD, so I had to stay home and just take care of a couple of family businesses. But it was actually really nice to watch Rainover do the interviews, and he won every game that he did the interview. So I was trying to encourage him to come back and continue to do the interviews, but he said, that's my job, so I have to do it.
And now you can set a precedent of getting him to lose some of these games, so he's having losers interviews. So like for you, you just came off of what was a tough last week. What's your thought process bouncing back and trying to get him to losing ways?
Yeah, obviously, so I think our first week we had really clean wins, and our second week we had really sloppy games. So I'm just hoping we can bounce back and set the norm that we're going to play more like week 1 and week 2 was the fluke. But, you know, we had a short week of practice because obviously we're playing on Thursday, so there wasn't too much we could change in just a couple days. But I'm just excited to play versus Team Liquid. You know, they're first place right now. They won last split, and they're about to go to the big other tournament in like 2 weeks. So I'm hoping we can send them off on a loss.
How demoralized will you guys be on that loss?
I mean, we're not actually really thinking about like too many wins, too many losses, to be honest. It's hard because it's single round robin, so every game does really count. But obviously our goal is to
Welcome
make sure that we're
on
the best form of
in.
division, going both into EWC as
Thank
well
y'all
as,
for
you know,
joining
playoffs
on
in the world.
in. Over
we
here,
just gotta
Robert
continue to focus on us,
2130
make
and
sure that we're
SNT
working on the
So.
things that we know we're deficient in and getting better at that, and then if that leads to wins, that's fantastic, but ultimately the long-term growth is what we're looking for.
Last question for you. Last split, we heard a lot about your guys' scrims. This split, actually not too much. Is that good? Is that a good
I'm
sign?
having some
Yeah,
issues
actually, so our
with
scrims,
my kickbot.
Well, we'll definitely still have days where I'm like, wow, what are we doing? But we have had some better days of scrims this split, so I would say we're like a bit better than last split, but you know we could still use some work in scrims.
I think the real issue is there's some bigger crimers now than 100 Thieves out there. So it used to be the 100 Thieves criminals, but now there's a couple of other teams out there that are a little bit shaky as well.
Where the hell are the police? There's a lot of criminals out there. All right, thank
I know
you
that
guys,
there's a
and
bit
good
of a
luck in your
timer
matchup
on
today.
chat. It's because of bots and stuff like that. But yeah, welcome on in.
LCS, everybody, it's time for our next matchup. Our next best of 3. It's Team Liquid going head-to-head with 100 Thieves. I'm Captain Flowers. I'm joined by Kobe. How you feeling, buddy?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling amped up. I mean, this series should be a really, really fun one. Team Liquid are kind of undisputed at the top of the LCS, not only with their wins, but also talking to every single team, all the players, all... Even if begrudgingly a little bit, and them saying, oh, you know, later in the season, maybe we'll take down Team Liquid, they all agree that TL is definitely the team to beat. And I feel like 100 Thieves, with how creative they have been in drafts, not just this split, but also last split, and their willingness to play so many different types of comps, and plus so many different like wild cards, I feel like this is a very good team to try and push Team Liquid to make Team Liquid show something more, or maybe even expose some cracks.
Yeah, and I think that part of that story of what you're talking about, making Team Liquid switch it up, can be told when you look at the junglers specifically. I think that Umpty's one of those guys who's been still playing a lot of the old school, low econ, tanky style of stuff, as opposed to, you know, this new age Zyra,
thanks for coming on in,
jungle
Robert2130
thing.
and SNT
And if
So.
River can really put the pressure on Umpty in the jungle, I think that could be an angle where 100 Thieves generates some of that pressure.
You saying you're not impressed by Sejuani Maokai only junglers?
It's not my favorite flavor of jungle, my friend.
Need to show you a little something more?
Do,
A little something
do.
spicy?
I do love still seeing
because in
Golden
the
Glue
coach
up there and
interview,
Spawn. Man, I
directly
love
said,
Spawn.
Yeah, we're in a state right now where we feel like we're going to try more things, and we are going to try and work on what we think we are currently deficient at. So that would, you know, make us assume that they're going to try a little bit here, even in this series. Let's see if we get a little taste. Rainover's got a smile on his face. Maybe a little something special coming out this series.
And it was interesting to hear from the coaches too. Like, you know, Golden Glue even mentioned, like, hey, because the schedule is a little bit different this week, you do have less prep time. You do have less scrim time. There's not as many opportunities.
Yeah, watching NA has been kind of brutal after watching the LCK and LPL for the past couple weeks. Like, NA just looks so much worse as players, man.
You might be able to cook, but you got to put the microwave on overdrive, man.
This week is going to be LCS Lightning Round week. We're going to be in super quick mode here. See what they've got. They're working through a couple things on stage at the moment, trying to get this lobby ready, and we'll be able to jump right into it here. Also, this is the only time, just because the patch just came out yesterday, and the pros voted on it.
This music is so much better than the music that they had the last Champ Select. The last Champ Select, it was just really fucking annoying.
Yesterday on the live, so at least they were like, you know what, we're not going to shift everything that much in this short practice time week. And they're going to keep it a little similar.
Yeah, having only 3 days to practice and scrim and whatever, on top of having to play on a patch that just dropped 12 hours ago.
Hey, I was pushing for the patch.
It'd be pretty intense.
I say make them play on the day-old patch. Make them play on it, but we will get into the draft here soon enough. The lobby is up, and we
APA
are ready
is such
to
a
go.
weirdo, bro.
Here
He's
has
such a
remained
weirdo.
Primary ban. If we are still looking at topside as well, you know, like the Renekton and the Cassante have been these super blindable, very easy picks.
He needs to grow his hair out at least a little bit. You'll see this. I got plenty of hair.
Thrown in as a bit of a counter.
So 100 Thieves, they get rid of the Rumble. Team Liquid now pretty much mandatory to ban the Skarner. If it wasn't already mandatory, it's now double mandatory because Rumble is kind of the usual answer into it. Some teams might be willing to try something like a Mordekaiser, but again, I'm always just expecting to see my poor little Scorpion banned away.
And it's interesting too because we're getting pretty deep in the bans, and with 100 Thieves banning Tristana, Team Liquid are forced between the choice of, do we ban Skarner like we know we need to, or do we ban Corki because we think 100 Thieves are going to jump right on the Corki and then you can't do your little Corki Tristana trade? I would say ban Skarner 100%. Quid already played Ezreal, you know that.
I almost think they should swap Skarner's ultimate and his tunnel ability and then make what is the ultimate right now into like think the antithesis of a Quinn E, not like to where he dives toward them, but like where he does like a quick grab pull and then releases them again. Like the same feeling as getting hit by Quinn E, except toward them instead of away from them.
You assume be the first pick, and the intention here for TL is like, fine, we'll give it to you, but now because you banned that Tristana we were talking about, we will take the primary Corki.
Okay. So no Tristana to answer the Corki. We also have Senna banned away critically by TL. Remember that this champion counts as multiple bans, I feel like, because there's so much stuff that she enables to be played with her down there in the bottom lane with the farming supports. As let's see what else Team Liquid wants to go with here. They want to make sure they get value out of giving the Skarner away. We have not yet seen a team give Skarner away and not regret it.
We have also not yet seen Umpty not lock Sejuani or Maokai. We get another one, baby. In a world that has been filled with AP turbo clearing junglers, the tanks are also very good. Of course, we just came off a series where back-to-back, you know, energy contracts, very strong Sejuani. The champion right now is just insane because of Warmogs plus the Zeeks, both incredibly efficient.
Warmog's been the same shit since forever, though. Like, I mean, yeah, it got buffed a little bit, but like, it's always been a health item. Now it's more of a health regen item, but like, it's always been good. It's just people haven't been playing it since. I guess team fights are much slower now, so Warmogs is better.
This is a real flex pick here, and Quid was not only proficient,
especially
on
with Poke.
Ezreal, he was extremely good on the mid lane Ezreal, so definitely putting some real pressure here into the draft.
Yeah, absolute highlight reel moment when he got that quadra kill in the 3v5 Baron defense. Okay, that's what I mentioned earlier. This is one of those other champions that you see picked as a response to the Skarner in top lane. Usually it's Rumble or it's Mordekaiser. Now, will the Mordekaiser and his ability to win in the direct matchup be able to outweigh
Spawn's a smart guy. He'd be an
also what we're
interesting
gonna have to
coach.
see.
I
How
think
experienced
that
is
he
impact in the Mordekaiser versus Skarner matchup. That's another thing that's going to
be
factor
scary,
in
man.
here, because if Skarner gets ahead,
He'd be a scary
it's still
coach
really
to me.
difficult for Mordekaiser to be able to respond to him. Remember that Skarner's one of those champions where if you're trying to shove the wave in, it's so easy for him to punish you, especially on a champion that just can have ambient damage around him like Mordekaiser with that Steel Storm or whatever the passive is called. I don't even remember the name of the thing specifically. But if Mordekaiser got his passive currently working and Skarner just slams him into the wall, into the turret, it's bad news bears for Mord.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm very excited for this one because Mord does some really interesting things to your team fights as well.
It's funny that they
If
make
he's
all the
able
right
to,
employees
like
try to
blast
learn
going
all
towards
the
backside,
ability
or
names
sometimes
consistently.
It's even optimal to try and just ult the tank out of the way for the rest of your team. Very fun too with split pushing and your ability to 2v1. Dissuades junglers from ganking you the later that you get. When you have access to your ultimate, but we'll catch up here as Karthus and Zyra both banned out, referring to those AP really quickly clearing junglers that are especially good versus Sejuani, who's much more gank-oriented early.
Yeah, I don't think you could have picked two better bans for TL in the second half of this draft. These two champions are exactly those types of accelerators, those high-tempo junglers that are going to make it harder for Sejuani to maintain the relevance that she wants to if they are not kept in check. So banning those both out seems really smart to me. Callista and Nautilus banned away by 100 Thieves, just getting rid of a couple of those options that they don't want to deal with down there in the bottom lane, but still plenty left to pick from here for the side of Team Liquid. And it looks like the man who showed that North America just might be able to pilot some Lucian is ready to pilot it here again.
Yeah,
all right.
He is well acquainted with this duo. It's one of their favorites. They've talked about it a lot, but the Lucian Nami here for Yawn and Core JJ. See how much pressure they can put. And
This is definitely going to be interesting.
Then want to pivot a little bit. They lock in the Brand though. Brand is so good versus Sejuani. Right up there with the Karthus, with the Zyra in the turbo clearing, but also just has massive, massive AoE damage that you can bring to the team fight. Brand is also interesting in that the range is really
Aphelios.
strong on this
What?
man, so
Wait.
we'll see about the early clears, and it's going to be a kind of a race here. Can Umti actually get enough done in lanes to deal with river power clearing?
And hey, it's Quid on the mid Ezreal, reconfirmed with Aphelios locked in bottom lane. There alongside the Leona. Nami, most likely the option to
You're
be
shocked.
locked in
I
next
can tell.
Oh yeah, dude. You know what's actually the most messed up thing? Lucian's one of the only champions in this video game called League of Legends that canonically, by the lore, has a wife, and he spends all his time hanging out with a fish instead of with his wife.
Yep, definitely a funny one. The meta is more powerful than lore. Okay.
The meta is stronger than love.
Yeah, true. I also do want to go over a little bit. The Mordekaiser is kind of the main pick of this draft. Even though you may not be familiar
Canonically,
in recent
he is
history,
correct.
Impact has played for so long that he actually has 17 games on Mordekaiser because he played it during. If you
Alrighty,
remember
guys,
the,
y'all can chat now if
mega
y'all want to say
powerful,
anything. Thanks again for
Bruisers,
coming and joining.
Juggernauts, that's what they're called. The Juggernauts meta when they were turbo OP. And so he has a 64% win rate on it with 17 games. So not too shabby there. Definitely trusting in Impact here, despite how strong Skarner currently is.
He has 17 games on Mordekaiser. How many of those 17 are against Skarner? I'm going to be willing to bet
I'm
it's
just
about...
say 0 without checking every single match. I'm going to say 0 of old Skarner, unless it happened to randomly be picked by a jungler sometime back then. But we'll get into it here. Right on to the Rift. 100 Thieves versus Team Liquid.
All right, let's do it. It's time for 100 Thieves and TL. Team Liquid going to accept the challenge of being the team to show that there is an answer to Skarner in the LCS on this patch. Nobody else has done it thus far, but
They've
talked
tried.
about it. Yeah,
And they failed.
Yeah, everybody, there's been attempts, don't get me wrong, but the attempts have not succeeded. Sniper also using my favorite Skarner skin after the rework. I think the Robo Skarner is just completely badass. He looks super cool. He has 2 chainsaws and 3 harpoon tails. he's just cool, man. All right, wait, let's see what we got here. GLHF, U2, U2. Oh, man, come on, what is this?
Wait, that's good. It's cute. You got to start out. You got to start out somewhere.
You lull them into a false sense of security
exactly.
with polite manners. And then you change it up, hit him with the curveball. Okay.
Yeah, as soon as you
Of course
get
he's
that
running the
first
fucking
kill,
quirky.
immediately into
skin.
the type racer.
All right, so let's just go ahead and compare what we got here. We have the barrier for Meech versus Cleanse on Yon. Wants to make sure he can get away from those engages from the Leona. We know how powerful the CC chaining is from her, while Ayla has the Ignite to try to guarantee that they can get one of these kills if they catch one of these two Team Liquid players.
Yeah, just to hammer home our point about how many games Impact
I actually
played.
kind of like this
In the
meta.
LCS recently, he passed the first place for all-time wins in the LCS, and you saw there Sniper ranking against all of the LCS top laners that we have ever had. 190th, you know, pretty respectable.
190th.
He's a rookie, okay. He had one split.
Yeah, that's 190. I think one of the producers told me earlier that the grand total of players that have played in the LCS is like 364, so he's almost in the top half.
That's pretty good.
So yeah, we're
wow.
chilling.
That just makes me think. So like, about half of them didn't make it more than one split worth of wins, basically. I mean,
tough out here, man.
100 Thieves that have a lot of wins in spring, so that's definitely more wins than you would usually get by only that small amount of time. But back on the Quid Ezreal points, really where
Sorry, I
it took
was
off
trying to mess
was the
with the
quad
kick
kill and
follower
Steve
settings there
Aaron
for a
the
second.
team. And so this, I think, will be a more interesting.
I'm still just
kind of
struggling with
test.
kick bot, guys.
Even though a lot of players that we've talked to directly and interviewed have said, yeah, Quid is actually insane on the mid Ezreal. It's not just that one game where he got fortunate to get gifted a bunch of money towards the Baron.
Missing the Q there, though, means this trade is going to be a lot more even than it would otherwise feel.
-1 Q.
Yeah, we're going to have to keep track of those. -1, but not really that consequential
Q
here
counter.
just yet. Back in bottom lane, currently the priority here belongs to Yon and Core JJ, that Lucian Nami, that classic bully lane here on the bot side of the map. But River is also hanging around, clearing through the Krugs. If he tries to come in through the Tri-Brush, he is going to be spotted out by the wards. So I would hope that this doesn't really lead into anything, since Team Liquid has the knowledge and the information on River's positioning. Ayla and Meech can comfortably step up here, and it'll be Ayla sweeping through the brushes, but Umpty's ready to join up here too. Instead, just going to put his attention over onto the Scuttle Crab.
Yeah, he should get it. They all both have smite
Easy.
still. Save the smite for the Scuttle Crab, so they're able to get that quite nice, and he can path up and get the top side one as well. By the way, the top side, I just want to point out
Double
the small
Scuttle.
thing that Sniper did. This is what you want to do for Skarner. Especially, it's even more important on live patch where Skarner got further mana nerfs. But Sniper pushed in and he got his recall off on the early push at tower to go buy that tier.
Yep. Gotta make
which
sure you
helps-
can spam.
Yeah, it helps out a lot on the patch that we're currently on here. It
How the
was,
hell did
a
that
small
work?
Mana nerfs, but on live it's even more so.
Ooh, Umpty not going to be able to find his recall there as River interrupts him. But also important to note what you saw up there, the interaction between Sniper and Impact, where it looked like Sniper kind of grabbed Impact at a wacky angle. The hitbox on Skarner's E is not exactly as it seems. It's a little deceptive. Yon happened to pop the cleanse down here in the bottom lane. Heal from Core JJ also used alongside the Ignite and Barrier from the 100 Thieves bottom lane. All non-flash summoner spells are spent down here in this 2v2, Kobe.
Yeah, they're going pretty hard down here. You would think maybe it's going to be junglers again visiting. Brand, of course, is doing full clears down to the bottom side, whereas Umpty here does have Raptors to go, or the Krugs to go to after Raptors. So it's going to be the choice here from Umpty. And even though there is a ward on Raptors, going to head on down to this bottom side because it has gotten a little bit spicy. And he does know that it's also a clear towards bottom side there for River for the Brand. So we'll see about round 2 of junglers.
APA is so
meeting up towards
spicy
the
for
bottom
not
side.
being
Sure,
that
now we
good.
got a
Like,
little
he's
wrap around
solid,
here,
but he's
though.
not a
Looks like
fucking
bit of a
god.
cross, 'cause
He's not up here
6 minutes in,
pulling
it's
out
Void
fucking
Grubs. So we're
faker
seeing
plays.
again the classic bottom lanes on
Or
first
playing,
recall
like,
here. Go up to
farming
the
even
Void
a tenth
Grubs.
of
They're going up
Chovy's
there
level
ahead of time,
consistently.
5.5 minutes. They get their purchase off, they go up to the Void Grubs with their jungler, and they burn them down.
To be fair,
So one
Chovy
thing
is
that I'm
literally a
also
rocket.
interested
I mean,
in
a
here
robot.
with this switch up coming around is remember that in most situations when you're the top laner, when the enemy duo swaps up there, you've got to be respectful of that 1v2 situation, Mordekaiser doesn't really care about 1v2 situations because that's just 2 separate 1v1s for him. So 100 Thieves will need to make sure that they're respecting this guy. Don't put themselves in a spot where it's very easy for him to send somebody to the Shadow Realm and get TL on the board. They are off to a very modest gold lead here early on, but it is River with control over those grubs like you were saying.
Yeah, this is basically the most common early game play. And on bottom side, the answer.
Okay, Sniper, gonna get dove. 1v3, flashes back on the other side of the turret. Core JJ still alive with about 100 HP, not looking so great, but now Umpty's gonna get grabbed. He flashes back into the turret aggro in time. It's first blood over on the other side, as exactly what I said would happen just happened. Impact gets a 1v2 at the same time. His team is getting a 3v1 on the other end of the rift.
Yo, that was vintage BM, okay? Back in Impact's day, back in my day, we didn't have emotes to BM with. We spammed the taunt like that. He spams taunt on the body, and Impact wants another one. Oh,
I called it, man. You cannot disrespect Mordekaiser.
That's some old man BM right there. Some original. That was juicy. Yeah, I mean, these two top lane champions are very different in dealing with multiple people.
Oh God,
So
Impact's just playing top die
illustrated,
mode.
talked about. We didn't actually get to see it happen, so let's take a look. And it's just the grab onto Meech under tower. He had flash. He did not flash the grab. He did not respect the top lane LCS GOAT. Impact just slams it down there. Lands the grab.
Impact's
under
just sitting here
tower,
like,
immediately
bro,
ults him. Meanwhile, Sniper
the
has a
fuck?
much more difficult job here. He's not level 6 yet. He tries to get level 6. He goes for the cannon. He does get that. And then he flashes away from the bubble nicely. Eventually, level 6 as this one dies from the tower. And
We
so
didn't
he's
bet
gonna
on
walk
this
up to
game
20, but
as of
because
yet.
he's
If we
so
want
low
to, let's
already,
see if there's
Yon just
anything
kills
worth
him,
it on
and
here.
They get the extra kill, plus the flash, plus the ultimate down there, and Dragon picked up.
I mean, the odds on 100 Thieves are great, but
bottom, honestly, top side, that was silliness out of Meech. He shouldn't have been there. I don't really
TL does
understand what he
look
was
like a
thinking.
cleaner
Like,
team than most of the
did he
teams I've seen
forget
in
what
LCS.
Mordekaiser
Makes
does? Has he
sense.
never read the tooltip? Come on, Meech. We gotta pay more attention than that on these types of plays. Otherwise, this Mordekaiser could quickly become a massive issue. Remember, if this guy gets so far ahead that he's raid boss status, all of a sudden the IRS is kicking in the door at 100 Thieves, demanding some QSS taxes.
I'm gonna put an eighth up unit bet on 100 Thieves because the odds are so crazy.
Because I hadn't been seeing Mordekaiser for so long, but here we go. It's potentially a move up here on Quid.
Yeah, Impact out here teaching the kids some lessons. Flowers. And now it's just how do you
Actually, I'm just gonna go and make it a quarter unit
bet
bet on 100 Thieves. I don't think they're gonna win, but quarter unit doesn't hurt too bad.
1v2 god machine here for the rest of the game. This actually
And
makes it very
the payoff
interesting.
is really nice
Previously
if it
gonna be
hits.
looking at River on the Brand and seeing how much Brand was going to be able to do to kind of burn through that front line, but River's job is much more difficult now, so we'll see.
Ayla going for the flash engage there on Core JJ. Flash for flash traded by the supports. You know, I think it's a little bit of karmic justice that I forgot the Mordekaiser thing because I was clowning on Meech for not remembering what Mordekaiser does, and then who was it who didn't remember what Mordekaiser did?
All right, Flowers, you're going to have to join him in Impact's lesson here.
Yeah, they got
Impact
me.
is going to take
got me.
everyone to school. I thought you guys were skirmish.
Quid's dead as fuck.
APA actually always, he's typing so fast. You see this pretty frequently. He's got the letters misplaced.
Nothing's spelled right.
But nobody ever deducts points for that. They're just happy that he gets the message out.
All right, Impact gonna find another one here. Might not be able to kill him off inside the
Ah!
He's got Umpty right there.
That was clean by Umpty. Yeah, that's GG. Impact's gonna hyper carry this if nothing else.
Impact is gonna make them regret.
Impact's
this
gonna make
one
an
for
impact.
Sure, he just lays the beat down on another AD carry, burns another AD carry's flash. I mean, he's actually just the god of the game right now.
Yep, and when we look at the jungle right now, 1-0-1 on Umpty, and he's down 1 farm compared to River. The thing that I was looking at is can 100 Thieves and River use these high-tempo AP junglers to really put the pressure on Umpty, who continues to just play tanks? And the answer in the first 10.5 minutes
Does
of this
Impact
game
have
is no.
much family
Yeah,
back
we'll
home? I
see
actually have no
as
idea,
River starts up
guys.
these grubs with Umpty in the back. The 4th grub here, Sejuani grub.
Sejuani grub. He has to go back over the wall. He does not secure that first grub. And since 100 Thieves is committing a lot of manpower to the pit, it looks like they will get the full 6 grubs here in game number 1. Team Liquid, of course, did take that first dragon earlier on. Second one going to be spawning in under 2 minutes here, but because those spawns aren't synced up, it's not like TL can grab something back on the other side of the map for it.
Yeah, can't grab anything back. 100 Thieves, I mean, that's definitely something you can try and build around. It's just that split pushing is really hard when you're playing against the Fed Mordekaiser, so it actually is going to be hard for 100 Thieves to get full value out of 6 grubs. Usually you're like, oh my god, 6 grubs, I love that, pushing towers, you know, double mites. But 100 Thieves don't have a split pusher. Like, they just don't. Anybody who goes out there is impact food, so we will see. Quite interesting here, and I like the call from Team Liquid. They'll probably just try and keep up their dragon stacking. Meanwhile, both AD carries in mid and in bottom right now, even though they have swapped places, will gain control of the waves and be able to slowly push those in.
And you can see the itemization here for Sniper, going for the early bombies after that tier that you were talking about into a Spectre's Cal now, because he knows, all right, Mordekaiser's pretty scary. I don't just want to keep getting smacked around by this dude. Probably would like to be at least a little bit more defensive against that option. He knows that if the Sejuani comes back up here, that's also a lot of magic damage. So almost a 2,000 gold lead for Team Liquid. 12 minutes into the game feels really great for the early stages of this one. First item already completed for APA with that Trinity Force. Zeke's Convergence online for the Sejuani. We were talking earlier today while we were watching the first series just about how this item feels so good for tank junglers right now. It gives you a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's only a 2k gold gap, so it's up to like 1 or 2 team fights, but like if Umpty goes in here and is able to get a good ult on the River or Meech,
So
I mean, they're just
something that
dead.
actually gets mana removed from it, that is a support item. Junglers just love that purchase. It is always going to be so efficient.
Well, that's good.
Anything
Umpty
with
wasted
mana
a lot
on
of
it
time
always
there.
feels really bad for junglers since they have such good mana regeneration. And so we'll see. With a Sejuani ultimate ready and APA having Trinity Force, that is a recipe for a play right there. Umpty's hovering around, but 100 Thieves also have that ward over in the new Banana Brush. So they're able to push them off. The only problem for 100 Thieves is they left bottom side open. So Team Liquid are like, great, APA is just going to get free money on tower plates.
Meanwhile, the fight breaks out, and Ayla could be in a little bit of trouble here. The bubble doesn't connect on him, so he's walking away, but not walking fast enough. Gone, picks up the kill, thanks to the lockup from Umpty and Core JJ. The burn still on Umpty's Sejuani, but the True Shot Barrage won't find him. The last couple of ticks.
Got him.
Over time. River makes it an even.
Yeah, I fucking hate Brand.
And Leandries is just so yucky for Sejuani to deal with.
I really don't like playing Brand. He's not a cool champion. Like, I did beat when I was still a measly bronze player way back in the day. Not to say I'm not anymore, but I at least hit platinum since then. But at my peak on that, dealing with that fucking champion, I actually beat a fucking like high diamond player. He was like diamond 2 or diamond 1, and I beat him 1v1 playing Brand in mid lane. It's just not. He's just a disgusting champion. He was playing Ezreal too. Like he had every opportunity to just hyper carry, and he just didn't.
Focus on your own gameplay, especially when you're playing a Brand.
I did lose that game,
here, so
but I won my lane pretty hardly.
He was able to get the dragon. Still going to try and power through.
And against Sejuani in particular, I like the fact that you mentioned how yucky the damage over time was, because remember that Sejuani is so good against front-loaded damage. Because of both Arctic Armor and the Aftershock, she has so many resistances for those first couple of seconds. But Brand doesn't even care about that. Quinn better care about APA, though! The Ezreal tried to flash out, but APA ain't going to let him. River flashes forward to follow it up. That passive explosion is going to make this one an even trade as well.
Yeah, both of them had Trinity Force, so, you know, Quid wants to get a little
frisky
in there, and APA
frisky
gets
is the term.
solo bolo. It does cost River his flash to follow up, but at least 400 Thieves side, he does follow up, and he tries to salvage something there. It's you know, it's kind of River now versus the entire team of TL. Yes. Everybody else just makes space for River. Brand has plenty of teamfight damage too, so maybe he'll be able to do something about it as the game does progress.
Well, we've got Umpty securing the Rift Herald here for TL. For the first 10 minutes of the game, 100 Thieves owned the top side neutral objectives. Team Liquid owned the bot side. Now it's flip-flopped as we're making our way into the mid-game. You can see the Hollow Radiance purchased for Sniper. Doesn't quite have the same damage potential ticking up as you're in combat as a Sunfire does, but you do get the Explodey passive for better split push control, better just extra wave pressure to deal with impact as he's, you know, still just the same strong Mordekaiser that we knew he was earlier. Jan and Core got to be a little bit respectful here of Meech and Ayla, but they aren't too afraid of anything. River is currently clearing through his camps, so I don't think 100 Thieves will probably be looking for a whole lot. As you said, Brand is the protagonist. You're not going to do anything important in the story.
Yeah, I mean...
So just kind of chilling right now, farming it up. TL still 2.3 thousand gold ahead.
The only chance that I cash out on my quarter unit bet is if Ezreal pops off and he has obviously
actually on
anything.
the bottom side. Thank you. Perfect observers. They're psychic. The bottom side, because the tower's so low here, and APA versus Quid is actually flash advantage now for Quid, because APA used his, of course, to get the kill last time around. But I was shocked that there was no trash talk afterwards. There was no typing from APA, even though he was able to get the kill. Maybe it's because Brand answered, and so he's biding his time. He was like, all right, I'll wait for the next time. But everybody from 100 Thieves kind of rotating through to ensure that they have full vision coverage of this river.
All right, the Rift Herald is summoned up in mid lane, already in charge range as soon as she spawns. One more auto attack or two might get it done, but now Ayla's here on the front line. Umpty's gonna be careful.
Nice.
The Brand ulti with the True Shot Barrage together is gonna burn him down, but it'll be traded back for Ayla. A 1-for-1 in mid lane as the Herald finds its second charge, and Meech is in a real bad spot. Impact is an absolute raid boss, and I don't think 100 Thieves has the gear. Sniper tries to get back underneath the tier 2, and Quinn's going home in
100 Thieves is
TL wins the fight.
taking this one home.
Die, support die, mid die, any carry die, and Impact is all over the map right now. Honestly, let's just give player of the game.
The quarter unit bet was a bit of a stretch. That's why I only did a quarter unit.
Here's another look at how it went down.
All right, so Impact comes out of the brush, out of the shadows here. He's able to get the grab onto Ayla. Count that one for Impact. Then he runs up to Meech. Meech again, not respecting his elders, so he runs him down effortlessly. Then he pops the ultimate onto Quid, runs Quid down as well. Quid is able to arcane shift over, so Impact flashes to follow and ensures his death. Even though other people were taking the final hits on those kills, I'm counting all 3 of those to Impact.
They are simply Impact's ads. He is the main boss, and he is making this encounter happen for Team Liquid.
He's a benevolent boss, so he's like, here, you know what? Share some money with the rest of the team. You can have this one, you can have that one.
Here you go. Here's your paycheck.
Everybody knows at the end of the day, the one at the top of the damage meters is the Mordekaiser. He's got teleport ready too, so keep your eyes open for the split push from Mr. Impact and see how they are able to use both him and APA to get top side and bottom side pushing for themselves. Meanwhile,
it's all about whether or not Sniper can pull some bullshit.
Going to try and focus on the Raptors, and they go for it.
They go after Jan, but he's getting away for now. River wanted to chase after him, but the TP coming in forces 100 Thieves right on back. A full culling, mag dumped into Sniper. He flashes over the wall to escape. 100 Thieves have all 5 players here in mid lane, but they weren't able to make anything.
Bro, what is Quid aiming at?
Feeling all right about it.
Oh, the bot wave.
Peeling, I would say, from Umpty there. Even though Umpty was not in the middle of your screen, he threw a Sejuani ult from Raptor Pit to stop Sniper from getting the ultimate onto Jan. Jan was able to escape there, able to live because of.
Here's what I'm learning about an A is it's not about.
It's what really makes 1-3-1 split push work.
It's about who's the better team, but it's also about which composition is easier to execute.
Bottom side of the map, they got the secondary tower there with APA split pushing, and then they're able to retreat over to the dragon, keep their stacking alive.
They're 6,000 gold ahead, man, and the clock is only now about to hit 20 minutes. You can see the Infinity Edge completed there for APA. We've got the Rapid Fire Cannon and the BF Sword in the inventory right next to it. That second, almost third fully completed item here for Jan.
Should I put the house on
This is becoming really suffocating really fast for 100
on 100 Thieves right now.
I don't really even know what the goal is here other than hope that Team Liquid makes a mistake in going for a Baron too early and you can try to punish it, maybe get some massive AoE from the brand, because it feels like Meech's Aphelios is invisible this game.
True.
Sniper hasn't been able to make a meaningful impact.
He has
on the
Bloodthirster.
Skarner,
That's
and
all
Quid
he
1-3-1
has, bro.
on
Like,
this
he doesn't
Ezreal.
have an
He's already
IE.
shown
He
he's
doesn't,
losing
like...
these to APA right now.
Yeah, honestly, I'm just so proud of Team Liquid for how well they're able to split push. Yes, you know, the beginning of the game with Impact getting so many kills and Impact being such a force, that's, you know, that's one thing, but here we go.
Bang. Ayla wants to make the engage. He goes after Core JJ, but 100 Thieves just can't back it up. Yawn now again, nice placement of the calling. He just completely fills Ayla full of bullets. Impact just dancing on him again. One big hammer right over the top of the head. He's out, he's done, he's out of there, he's gone. With the enemy support dead, with the enemy top laner down on the bottom side of the map, APA has all the space.
Yeah, APA is kind of...
Another tier 2 turret. Meanwhile,
I don't understand how this man is on this team. Like,
stealing away the enemy blue buff, stealing away the enemy jungle
he
camp,
plays way
just
too
forcing
clean
this
to
economy
be such a
be
little
more
bitch
and more in
IRL,
favor
and I'm
of
not.
TL.
I don't
It's
actually
just
mean that.
textbook.
Like, he's
It's
a
so
cool ass
nice
fucking dude, but
and refreshing here watching
he's
Team
weird.
Liquid play
That's for
by
sure.
the books, taking away these options from 100 Thieves, and then being able to outplay them, you know, when they actually do get into the fights. But the setups and being able to set themselves up for good outcomes, do their lane assignments first, then also getting the outplays is just bodes quite well for this team. And this is the reason
I don't understand why he types so
right
much.
now, all the teams, all the players
As
in the LCS,
an NA
all
player, it's
looking at
crazy to
Team
me that he
Liquid
types
at
as
the
much as he
top
does.
of the rankings, and just hoping that they can craft
And that
ways
his
to try and
playstyle is
take
just
them
doesn't
down.
make sense
100 Thieves
with
here. We will return to our River Point flowers for their perspective.
his personality.
Because that is really the only perspective kind of remaining. It's just that now he is so outgunned. There's way too much money on the side of Team Liquid. I mean, APA's got 2 levels over him on the Corki here, and the poke damage is really annoying.
Oh, River! He's not going to be the one who gets caught, but it's Sniper in the middle of everybody. Yawn flashing away to escape the impale. Ayla into the back, looking to lock down. The Team Liquid 80 carry and 100 Thieves already found a kill. They're about to find a second. River goes on a killing spree, and APA tries to run back over the wall, but he's running into the 100 Thieves side of the map. Ayla, Quid, and River still looking for the chase. APA crashes and burns. 100 Thieves just found a 3 for nothing. Impact trying to split push in the bottom lane at the same time.
I love how Kobe's just trying to make calls.
Teleport, but it's coming up in just a moment.
3 seconds there on Impact's teleport. Is he going to try and walk up? He would only have Core JJ to play with. I guess it's too late. I think 100 Thieves have made a miracle comeback in the few seconds where Impact did not have
Should have bet the house, eh?
They strike again.
Nah, I don't know if that's enough to win the game, actually.
Making a comeback here. Let's take a look at it. Sniper.
Let me see if I can get a really fun hedge bet in.
Ayla and Quid go right over the Sejuani to assassinate Yawn. Beautiful stuff. Meanwhile, River was able to burn down the rest of Team Liquid and set them up to just be easy pickings here. Quid again gets the shutdown also, so massive, massive stuff, and River invested his flash and able to ensure they could get that shutdown as well. That is
The
so
mid
much
reel
money
is
into the
not
mid
very
X
real,
into
bro.
Quid,
I can't believe this
who
shit.
really rewarded 100 Thieves. Last time they were able to pick him the champion. I mean, he got the Baron plus the Quadra, and this time around, 100 Thieves with the Baron buff. They're getting teleported on behind them. The flank is coming. Sniper has an answer.
All right, we got a TP coming in to reinforce 100 Thieves, but Impact has already found the pincer attack. He flashes forward. He's going after Quid. The Ezreal tries to stay alive, but it ain't going to happen. Impact burns him down first, and now Sniper's going to head for the hills. Leona ulti slows him down for a moment. Umpty's trying to get back away. River lighting these guys up as they try to continue chasing down the injured 100 Thieves players. Umpty with 200 HP. Impact at death's door, but Yawn, APA, and Core are still chasing the remaining 100 Thieves players out. Sniper has no ulti.
Sorry, the wifey sneezed in the other room.
Thieves is still looking for maybe some kind of a play, some kind of a punish. APA coming around from the side. Ayla not gonna jump in there here just yet. 100 Thieves, they will end up walking away from this one. The fight, still that kill onto Quid, the punish from TL, the pincer attack works out and it earns them soul point here with their 3rd drink.
Yeah, Impact says, I'm still the main character of this game. Nice comeback, 100 Thieves, but I'm going to put a stop to it right now.
Yeah.
Ensure that we get to our Dragon Soul point at the very least. 3 dragons now
Interesting.
for Team Liquid. Though the goal
We're gonna play with the
that
Rubik's
100
Cube
Thieves
boys.
got off of that team fight play into the Baron, plus presumably this
And
mid
girls.
tower.
Oh, we aren't done yet. The mid lane tier 1 turret's still going to be standing with 1 auto attack left on, and 100 Thieves is making a critical mistake trying to push this now. Ayla dies next to Meech, and the remaining 3 players have to run. APA's on the hunt, needs a couple of more rockets to make this one
Yeah,
work,
the
but he's
hedge
gonna be
bet wasn't
sidestepping
available,
Brand
or else
spells
I would have
the
won the
whole
hedge
time.
bet.
You could see what 100 Thieves wanted to do. They wanted to burst down the turret. They wanted to take the fight then, but it survived with just enough HP to make it not work. Team Liquid gonna win another scrap.
Yeah, it's a little bit risky to rush into it. That tower is so low that they're probably going to be able to get at some point, but they really wanted the money now to try and cash in, try and get the Bloodthirster completed for Quid, try and see if they could hit another power spike. They do get kind of pushed off there, and Team Liquid collecting some more kills, so they increase their goal lead once again, and they set themselves up for a Dragon Soul here for Team Liquid. Still fairly far off, over 3.5 minutes, but that is kind of the next goal there. Baron gonna arrive a little bit sooner than that, and so it might be some earlier posturing around the top half of the map, but I kind of expect them, with the mini comeback that 100 Thieves had, to maybe play it a little bit safer and aim for Soul.
Well, if we compare the overall states of the game we've experienced so far here in this one, Team Liquid at their greatest heights were about 6,500 gold ahead. Right at the time of the big Baron play for 100 Thieves, the lead shrank down to 2K. Quid escaping here as Team Liquid wanted to move into mid lane. Sniper might not be so lucky, pops the shield, walks right on away. Skarner's shield combined with Fimbulwinter is so much extra effective HP with these shield spams coming out, so you really have to put a lot of DPS into killing it. But yeah, we're back to a 4,000 gold difference, so kind of split in the middle between the greatest Team Liquid lead and the biggest 100 Thieves comeback state so far, as Meech loses about 40% HP to Jan's calling. Jan then dashing right back away with a pursuit.
Yeah, I don't trust anything that's happening in this game. It's too coin flippy, honestly, but either of them could win. I put it on 100 Thieves, which has the less likely chance of winning, but still.
Impact is not a fight they want to take. You need to have the Mordekaiser around, but APA is once again threatening in the side lane.
And Impact is here. He's made his way down. APA, it's a crazy pincer they have here, but they do have a bit of a pinch.
Yeah,
it results in 1 rocket, a big one, and they're going to be able to walk the rest of it out here as 100 Thieves are able to filter down to the bottom side eventually.
Yeah, nobody from 100 Thieves is dead. Nobody gets caught there or anything. APA now could be in a pretty rough spot. Quid getting himself back away as APA and Quid are both barely hanging on. APA down to about 200 HP, and Meech takes him down. That's a big pick for 100
That's a
Thieves.
big pick.
Luckily for Team Liquid, the death timer is going to be enough time before Baron spawns so that 100 Thieves don't get a true comeback off of this, but that was definitely an error from APA. Both flashes from Quid and APA invested in that play, but the extra kill, the extra money, we'll see if 100 Thieves can make use of it here, and maybe these 2 mid laners might get punished for having no flashes as we do get to the critical Baron setup. 30 seconds ahead of time here. Impact doesn't quite have flash for this play, though he has gotten to his level 16 for rank 3 ultimate. 20 seconds left on his flash.
Okay, Ayla gets caught by the Sejuani ulti. The Glacial Prison locks him up. Skarner ult won't accomplish anything as Jan steps out of the way of it. Ayla is picked off. Umpty down to about 130 HP. Dashing out of the way of the True Shot Barrage there with the Arctic Assault. River's still on the side. TP coming in. Yes, APA makes his way into the fight, but as soon as he does, he's hit by the WQ combo from the Brand. Takes him down to below half health just with 2 spells plus the burn. The Brand damage is absolutely insane. That is a Pillar of Flame followed up with a, I think, Seer is the Q. But yeah, that's just, man, this guy does so much damage so fast. Team Liquid has to pay their respects towards that. River
Interesting.
back out here. You can see he's 3/4 of the way to level 16. Yeah. That final level on the ulti, that massive team fight power that 100 Thieves will have to rely on if they want to find a win in one of these big fights.
Yeah, River's been doing a lot of work this game so far.
Jan's callings also just completely cutting through these health bars on 100 Thieves. Nice aim with the True Shot Barrage there, though. River now clearing out some of the brushes here off to the side. The Drake is up. You talked about it earlier. This is Soul if Team Liquid secures it.
Remember, too, even if you try and go for a smite fight, Impact can just ult the enemy jungler.
Yeah.
Take him into the Shadow Realm so that it's not a fight at all. They should secure the Soul.
Yeah, Dragon Soul secured. To the side of TL, Impact is going to get stunned up, but he goes for the Shadow Realm on Ayla to get himself.
All right, here's where we find out.
APA flying into the middle of everybody, but he's only flying into his own death. The Corki Valkyrie was a little bit too audacious, but Ayla's going to be traded back. Impact goes godlike, and River goes down. The brand is out of the picture, and it's Team Liquid.
It's literally just Impact carried the game. That's what's so wild.
It's a triple for Impact this time around. Takes him into the Death Realm, and Team Liquid will take the Baron as their payment. That's going to put a nice capstone on this one. Soul acquired for TL, Baron acquired for pushing after they go spend all of their money. Impact truly is one of the greats. God of top lane here, has not died a single time off of his Zhonya's hourglass, keeps on diving in. Even when APA jumped onto 100 Thieves there, and you thought it was going to get a little bit dicey, Impact comes out of the Death Realm and just destroys them all.
And you can see even
So
right
dumb.
There,
So dumb.
Because they killed off everybody on 100 Thieves, he doesn't have to worry about securing that Baron immediately. Impact very low. He might finally die. Meech, red, white, don't fight. Shuts him down.
Teleport, teleport, teleport. All right, we finally see a moment of weakness here as Impact does go down.
Nicely done from Meech. That is big. That previous fight there at the Dragon Soul was the first time this game that River died. Impact was the only remaining unkilled player, but now nobody's sitting there with that perfect KDA. 100 Thieves, they've got 30 seconds before that enemy top laner comes back alive. Yon holding the cleanse. He sidesteps the hard CC from the solar flare, not that scared of just the slow. Umpty getting himself away. His Arctic armor is going to block that slow there from snipers. Quid nearly dies just to the calling. Thrown up into the air by the Nami wave, but he's so far away they won't be able to find any additional punish on that one. Meech finally putting out some DPS here as APA wants to make his way in, but APA is going to get caught instead. Who is flanking who? APA gives away a pretty critical blunder here just as Impact is back on the map. APA is now out for the next 50 seconds.
I don't love APA. I just don't, guys. I'm sorry.
Helping him out.
These are objective bounties too. How much can 100 Thieves get? We've got a pause.
Bruh.
Somebody just called a team meeting. They suspect APA.
Team meeting.
Wait a second.
I saw him go into the vent.
Emergency meeting. What's going on here? Corky's a little suspect. Honestly, though, it was a really good turn from 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
You know, full credit to Ayla here, doing a lot to lock him down, take down that Corky, because that was the critical pick. Allowing them to push right up mid lane, get the extra money. We will see. Hopefully, this is nothing of note, and we can smoothly resume play.
I hope so, man, because this game is really fun. Even though Team Liquid has been
I'm having fun.
in a significant lead for most of the game, I like the fact that we're still seeing 100 Thieves try to make things happen. It's not the sit there, do nothing, and hope that they don't win. Like, it's actual attempts at playmaking. They're still trying to find these angles. They're still trying to navigate these fights despite the fact that their opponents have this massive gold lead. And yeah, Ayla being able to set up these picks. River always watching to the side. He knows how Team Liquid likes to play these fights. He knows
What?
APA and Impact are creeping around in the bushes.
What?
Somebody over the head by surprise. He's got his helmet on.
This junglers should watch these River VODs. I mean, River is so good. Even when a lot of the team is faltering, you know.
That was one of the weirder solves I've ever had.
Stays so focused. He's really, really good at making his own opportunities really here. So you mentioned it though, the level 16 on him, the triple item power spike, the brand. See how much they can actually do. I've got some good news for you. It is just an audio issue. So
Let's go.
At the very least, we won't have to, chrono break or anything, and we'll just fix up the audio here real quick and get right back to the action.
Okay, looks like we are back. Let's do it. Still a 17-10 game favoring Team Liquid. They command a 4,500 gold lead. They have the Cloud Soul. 3 minutes until the Elder Drake spawns. 4 until Baron is back. I always get a little bit nervous in these kinds of standoff situations because it's like everybody's hanging around, still seeing.
Especially because top lane's got all the way up to the top turret. So it presents an interesting situation where you sometimes think there's going to be a pick. If somebody's got to go answer this top wave that we're seeing right now, then maybe someone's straggler recall, like the timers are desynced, and that's what Umpty was fishing around for.
Yeah.
Sejuani hunting, looking for those late game picks that can just finish off the game right there, but he doesn't catch anybody, no straggler recalls found here, so it is a full reset. Team Liquid, they've got APA back and alive. He's got double summoner spells heading down mid lane to join the rest of the squad, and Team Liquid still have a commanding position, especially with Baron buff allowing the split. Umpty just takes the whole tower.
Yeah, easy peasy, man. Umpty gonna crack the first tier 3 turret in the base of 100 Thieves. Team Liquid now just deciding to back up here a little bit. Remember that because of that Cloud Soul, you're talking about these picks, talking about finding a straggler. It's that much easier for Team Liquid to do so because of the extra movement speed they're afforded. Yon goes for the culling, but immediately stunned out of it through shot barrage. Chunks core JJ pretty massively, but look at the health bars on 100 Thieves. These guys are not fit to fight. Impact is coming around from below. Sniper's gonna be in some trouble. He's stuck in the death round, and Impact's ready to spread those wings. Sniper stays alive for now, but Team Liquid has forced 100 Thieves back. They cannot
oh well, boys.
that mid lane inhibitor is gone.
Nice spacing there from Impact, even in the death realm, you could see it. As it was going to time out soon, he backed up to the Skarner ult range, and it kind of baited Skarner ult from Sniper and walks back, able to avoid it. So he eventually gets the ult for ult trade, plus the extra momentum that the rest of the squad was able to create while he was in the death realm. So mid inhibitor is the only casualty so far for 100 Thieves, and they
jump in, they're leading the way with Ayla, but he's gonna be taking a massive amount of punishment. He dies first. Impact's traded though. Team Liquid still on the run as Quinn is still firing. He takes down Umpty, and he's ready to look for more. The Mystic shot will not connect on Yon. Yon returning the favor here with a culling. APA's going for the teleport back into the enemy base. Quinn's gonna be the one to answer. APA teleports on top of the minion wave. Quid makes his way back in time. Both mid laners now without the teleport.
I didn't know.
And Team Liquid escapes without any more casualties. It's still a 2-for-1 play from 100 Thieves.
I'm a believer in mid lane Ezreal. At the very least, Quid's mid lane Ezreal. This is now 2 games we have had. As far as the sample size, no way!
He even steals the crab.
What? That's, as a jungler, I'm like, that.
Alrighty, guys, give me just a few minutes. I will be back shortly to watch more of the TL 100 Thieves game.